Hello, and welcome to The Fab Life with Deb and Ryan.
Well, hi everybody. You know, we've been planning this for a couple of weeks now, haven't we, Ryan?
We sure have.
And what we're planning on doing is covering a whole range of topics.
Yes.
Let's talk about some of the topics that we're going to be discussing.
Absolutely. We are going to discuss everything from politics to education.
And fashion.
And entertainment.
And entertainment, particularly this week,
Yeah.
The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Oh my God. Oh, I can't
We will
wait to
get there
discuss
later.
that. And don't forget fashion.
Oh, yes. Yes.
And, I
Because
mean,
we look great, right?
Oh, well, I hope so. I mean, we try anyway.
Yeah, that's
and
right.
I mean, you know, we often look at some of the people roaming around campus.
Oh.
And who's hot and who's not.
And who,
Thank you, God, that the cold weather has come.
Yes, indeed.
Oh,
Fall
because-
has hit and things are covered.
Because a couple of weeks ago,
Yes.
I mean, we had students coming into our classrooms with Daisy Duke shorts. And,
Yes.
I mean, that is just not chic.
Yes.
It's not chic, is it?
No.
Okay, so anyway, well, hi. Let's talk a little bit about ourselves. Why don't you introduce yourself?
Okay, I am Ryan Wright. I'm a master's student here in the University of Toledo. I'm getting my master's in English with a concentration in ESL. What more should I say about myself, Deb?
Well, we don't want to tell them too much, because
No,
we'll reveal ourselves as the weeks go on.
Absolutely.
And I'm Dr. Deborah Coulter-Harris. I'm a lecturer here at the University of Toledo. Prior to my coming back here, I was a former CIA officer.
Isn't that interesting?
Not really. Well, kind of. Yeah, I was a Middle East political analyst, but I'm so glad I'm back in literature because my PhD was in literature.
Yes.
With a minor in linguistics. So anyway, so what do we want to
let's
talk about
it,
first?
because we are in education. That is our forte right now in our lives.
Yes.
So let's talk about, you mentioned your students. You just came from class.
Well, my students are fabulous this year. You know what I've noticed this year in all of my classes? It seems that the students are much more engaged, much more lively. They're much better prepared for their freshman year, particularly in my composition classes, which are just going fabulously well. How about yours?
I am teaching composition for ESL students, and surprisingly, they are so willing to volunteer, to participate, which is always very rocky for ESL students within their first few weeks of being in the United States and getting adjusted to university life. And so far, it has been fantastic.
Well, you know what's really interesting in my composition classes? I have a lot of foreign students.
Yeah.
I have a student from China, from India, from Thailand. And, you know, in the past, I think this is my 8th year back teaching. And in the past, well, just in the past few years, I've had a lot of students from the Middle East.
Oh, yes.
From, particularly from Saudi Arabia and Kuwait. They were wonderful students.
Yeah. And
very serious about their work.
Absolutely. And right now in my class, we are now beginning the writing autobiography. And that way they get to reflect upon the languages that they speak, the languages that they, written in since they've been young children. So it's a very interesting dynamic and all sorts of experiences.
You know, I had a really interesting experience this morning in my reading fiction class. We were finishing up a whole bunch of stories on, I love Sherlock Holmes stories, by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. What could be better? So we just finished reading the 3 stories, and I had them last week do a formalist analysis by parsing the structure of the plot to see how Sir Arthur Conan Doyle has a kind of formula for his stories. So we did that, but then today, after my lecture on formalism and other issues related to what we're studying, I had my students write a 1-page short story, murder mystery, based on the elements that Sir Arthur Conan Doyle uses in his stories. And they were fabulous.
That is great.
We have the best students here, don't we?
We do. It's a great university.
It is. It is the best
it's
university.
wonderful. Many professionals in higher academia don't like teaching freshmen.
Oh, I love my freshmen.
But it's fabulous. I mean, they're fresh. They come with a range of experiences. We're having a great time, I think.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. I've lived all over the world. And actually, Toledo, and I'm from Massachusetts, Toledo is my favorite place to live.
Really?
It really is. I mean, we have everything here. You can get everything. You can get anywhere in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
We have a world-class university. We have a world-class art museum. We have a very, very large contingency of creative writers all over the city.
Oh, yeah.
Theater is lively here. But fine art, but we don't have the crime that, let's say, a New York would have, or a Chicago would have.
Right.
And housing is very inexpensive here.
So beautiful.
And it's beautiful. So it's a great, but we're going to keep it a secret because we don't want everybody to move to Toledo. Okay. How about, let's move on to entertainment. What about the Housewives?
Yes. Oh my gosh. You know, the last time we spoke, we had both viewed the first part of the reunion, and now the second part has been shown. Deb, what do you think?
Well, what I think is this. I'm beginning to think that these whole series are staged, and that they are directed, that there is a script that they follow. Yeah. Because for the Real Housewives of New Jersey to suddenly, in the second part of that reunion, all start being huggy and kissy with each other, except for Carolyn. She said it was all a bunch of crap. But I just think, I don't know, I think it's very fake. What do you think?
Well, I would somewhat agree with that. I mean, I never thought that until this second part, and like you said, until the end. But you know, I really, either Carolyn's a good actress or she is left out of it, because I think she was genuinely shocked.
But I never
them reuniting, or
but I didn't understand why Teresa accepted the hug from Danielle.
Me neither.
See, that to me was kind of what set it off after the first half when she was yelling like a banshee at her. And by the way, Danielle has been fired from the Real Housewives. And then one of my students told me this morning, but I haven't seen this anywhere, that Teresa's not returning.
Well, let's face it. I mean, she is in a load of her own issues.
Yes. Who's your favorite housewife?
Oh, Caroline.
Oh, yeah, Caroline. We love you.
We love your
Manzo. Family.
Yes.
We love everything about you.
Yes.
And you should be very proud of yourself because your children are just so wonderful, hardworking. Your husband is wonderful, a hardworking gentleman. You have that wonderful restaurant which we love to go to.
The Brownstone.
The Brownstone.
We're open.
We're open to an invitation. Okay. I would love to meet you all.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, you know, they have to bring back Dina.
That, I think, may happen.
I think
that may happen with Danielle gone. But who will be the new antagonist?
Well, I hope it's not
Kim G. I hope so. You don't?
I don't think she's evil enough.
I think, well, she let herself
She's not that interesting, though.
No.
And even that fight with Danielle seemed kind of staged. Didn't it, in the restaurant?
Yeah, that was a funny moment, though.
I know. How about fashion? What's hot for fall? Have you heard?
You know, it's interesting you mentioned that, because I was looking through a magazine this morning over my cup of coffee, and I just want to say, check out Tommy Hilfiger's fall line.
Ooh.
Yes. You know, we haven't had the ability to share this with you. But it's very, like, maroon. You mentioned camel.
Yes.
Very navy blue. But, you know, Tommy Hilfiger is always very classic colors, anyway.
And that's how I like to dress. I like to dress in classic colors. Blacks, navy blues, grays, camels. But I heard that camel is going to be the hot color for fall.
Camel on... There will definitely need to be a jacket.
Well, yes. I mean, you know, you can't wear all camel because you're going to look washed out. You know what I mean? Especially someone like me. Camel color hair, skin, clothing. No. Don't do that. No. But pieces. Yeah. But pieces, I think, are good. And camel is so classic.
Oh, it is. Oh, it is. It goes great with navy blue.
Yes.
Red. It goes great with anything.
It goes with anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.